People always ask me the question about the growth of CDS, because sometimes when they look at the individual businesses, they don't seem to link together. They're like, you diversified the company, but they don't seem connected. And I said, that's because you don't understand the organization. So if we take it piece by piece, Unistel was a work program that did cameras for Kodak. Then Kodak took that contract to Mexico. But we had a small business through the National Institute for the Severely Handicapped, was packaging spices. And when I saw it as an opportunity, and I said, we've got to grow this. It was $100,000 in revenues a year. And by working with the federal government and the military, we grew that to be a $10 million business. That was just growth waiting to happen, and for us to recognize that it was there for us. Housing, when we came up with our affordable housing division, the state of New York made a decision in 2010 that it was putting a moratorium on new homes. So a provider like CDS would not be able to grow and offer residences for people with special needs. And I looked at it and said, well, that can't be. People need us. We're a mission organization. What do we do? And I took my team to school. I had a friend in Tampa who was the CFO for Raymond James, the investment firm. And I mentioned to him that we were having these difficulties with our residential program, growing, and we would like to get into housing. And he said, well, why don't you come to our organization? We'll teach you. And we went there to school for 2 days and came back with the idea that we could start affordable housing, integrating people with special needs with the regular population. That's how we got into housing. It looks different, but we actually, every time we open one of those facilities, we put 10 people with intellectual disabilities in those environments. That's like opening a group home. But guess what? A person living in a affordable housing community costs the state of New York about $12,000 a year. A person living in a residence costs the state about $120,000 a year. So we not only diversified the organization and brought in housing, but we also reduced the costs to the citizens, to the taxpayers. So we did that for housing. Then the state talked about moving to managed care. The system they've had since the 70s, when they created the Office for Mental Retardation, was to provide a fee-for-service arrangement with the providers. So anybody living in a residence, you get a rate. Go to your day program, you get a rate every day. And they decided that because they were looking at Medicaid spending on the federal level and the state level, that was unsustainable to keep that level of funding fee-for-service. And how did they control those costs? They were thinking to themselves, we should shift to managed care. That was their solution, where they would have insurance companies manage the budget and work with providers. And I made the decision that we would get into to become a managed care company. And that's why iCircle came about. And iCircle now is a $150 million business serving 4,000 people in upstate New York. These are the different things that we've done. We always had a foundation, the CDS Foundation. But when I came into the organization and became the CEO, I realized that that foundation was ineffective, and so I forced the dissolution of that organization, which was not an easy thing to do, but we did. And then I reconstituted that foundation, where it became the fundraising arm for the organization, creating a nest egg. So you look at all these businesses we've set forth, it's been remarkable. The one that people look at and say it really doesn't fit is Warrior Salute Veteran Services. Because here you are, CDS, serving people with special needs, having a managed care company for people with chronic illnesses, having the spice business, having the housing business, and you're now going to serve veterans? How does that fit? And I have to say, I don't want to take credit for it, but as an immigrant coming to this country, one of the things that's impressed me the most was our safety and security as a nation. And for us living in our communities and feeling safe with the police and then looking nationally at our country and the safety that the military brings to us. And then watching the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and seeing our men and women coming back home and seeing the system struggling to deal and help them. And I just sat in my living room and I was watching TV and I said to my wife, I've got to step in and help. CDS has a spice business with the military. It would be a wonderful opportunity to give back. And here we are, a charitable organization that asks the community for donations. And then I'm going to take donated dollars that go to people with special needs, and I'm going to ask for more money to serve veterans. It didn't bother me one bit. I was like, it was the right thing to do as an organization. And I had General Nixon, who had joined our team. He and I went around the country, studied all the veterans programs, and then we came back and said, we're going to create Warrior Salute Veteran Services. And we eventually bought a residence from another organization and set it up. And we've now been operating that for 12, 13 years. And it's a wonderful thing for our organization. It's amazing to watch the community of Rochester and other communities in the United States come together to support Warrior Salute Veteran Services. And I think it's been a winner. It's helped people to see CDS in a different way, that it's not only an organization that wants to sit in its corner and deal with its confined mission, but it opened its mind to what's happening in our community and wanting to be a part of it and contributing.